Good afternoon, children. Today, let us study about geography, chapter 2. We can take a revision on this chapter: land, soil, natural vegetation, and wildlife. Land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife. You know that our earth that is covered by water, one area totally covered with water. Then other area you can see that is land. So this land that is covered by our earth, 2/3 of this earth covered by water, we know it very well. Then land also you know that land surfaces. We are all living in this land surface. We human beings we live in this land surface. So land 30% of our earth's surface that is covered by water. 30% of our earth's surface that is covered by water. In examination may ask 30% of the earth's surface is covered by dash. That you know that 30% of the earth's surface that is covered by this land. 30% land. Only 30% land. Remaining you know that is water. Earth is considered as a blue planet or blue marble because most of these areas are covered by water. Only 30% only still remaining as land. That surface that we are all living in this surface that is called land. So in this land we can divide it into two, which are the sparsely populated areas and densely populated areas. Which are the sparsely populated areas? Which are the densely populated areas? In examination may ask that. Which are the sparsely populated areas? Which are the densely populated areas? So let us study about this sparsely populated areas. Which are the areas that people are living very rare? People are not inhabited. Some areas only less areas only people inhabited in these regions. That areas we can call it as sparsely populated areas. Which are that areas? Rugged topography. That area sparsely only populated, not thickly populated. Second, that is steepy areas, steepy hills, steepy areas. They are less inhabited. That areas less inhabited. Next, you know that is susceptible water. It means that inadequate water. Some areas of the land areas are there, land surface are there. That is not adequate. That area is not adequate for water. That area is not suitable for water. That is not adequate for water. So people will not live in that area. Only less area, less number of people only less number of people living in that areas. That we can call it as sparsely populated. That areas we can call it as sparsely populated areas. Next is densely populated areas or thickly populated or densely populated areas. Densely populated areas are the areas that people they want to live in that area because of this favorable climate. Next, because of that area is good for cultivation. Plain areas, you know that plain areas are densely populated. When we study that the landforms, you can see that plain areas are the areas that people densely populated. That is because transportation is possible. Then that area is good for cultivation, so that people always stay in these plain areas. People want to live in these plain areas. That is next, river valleys. You know that our culture also flourished on the banks of the river Indus. All those culture, you know that all cultures that they flourished on the banks of the river, flourished on the banks of the rivers. Indus River, you know that Euphrates, Tigris River, Nile River. So you know these rivers, all the civilization flourished on these banks of these rivers. So river valleys people are thickly populated or densely populated. People densely populated in the river valleys, plain areas. Next, so wherever the areas that is good for cultivation or suitable for cultivation, that people want to stay in that area. People want to live in that area. That area we can call it as densely populated areas. That area we can call it as densely populated. Which are the two areas? Sparsely populated areas and densely populated areas. Sparsely populated areas. Why people are not ready to live in that area? Because that areas rugged topography, steepy hills, then the areas are susceptible for water, no adequate water. So people they won't live in that. Some people only stay in that areas. So most of the people they live in the areas of plain, especially plain areas. Availability of water that areas they will live. Then suitable for agriculture, that place also they want to settle and they want to live. River valleys also people want to live in that areas. These areas we can call as densely populated areas. First we studied about the land. There are two types of areas that is sparsely populated areas and densely populated. Sparsely populated areas are the areas that people are less inhabited. Rugged area, rugged topography, steep, then susceptible water. These areas that people less populated. Next, that is densely populated areas. Densely populated areas are plains, river valleys, suitable for agriculture. These areas people want to live and people are living in these areas. Next, we want to know about the uses of land. What are the uses of land? The land can be used for many purposes. For agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, making of roads, railways, bridges, then construction of industries, etc. We use the land. What are the uses of land or land use? The land can be used for many purposes, for agriculture, industries, mining, forestry, then bridges, etc. Railways, roads, etc. For construction of roads, railways, etc. These are the uses of land. Next, conservation of land. That's the most important thing nowadays. Conservation of land. Land should be free from pollution. Land that will be free from pollution. Nowadays we are facing the most important problem, that is pollution. Pollution, that is, there are different types of pollutions. Which are the different types of pollutions? Land pollution, air pollution, water pollution. So these are all the different types of pollutions. These pollution hardly affect the human beings. Definitely that will affect the human beings. So the land area that will be free from pollution. Pollution that may decompose the soil, that may destroy the soil. So uses of land is conservation. So it is necessary to conserve the land. So it is very necessary, it's very urgent to conserve the land. It is very necessary to protect the land, to conserve the land, to conserve or protect the land. First, afforestation. So through afforestation we can protect the land. Planting trees so that we can protect the soil. Soil will not wash away. If we plant trees, top layer of the soil will not wash away. That will not happen, sir. Next, moreover, new species of plants we can plant new species of plants, or we can protect these plants also. That afforestation, we plant trees, definitely it will become a shelter for birds. We are protecting the nature also. So it is very essential to plant trees. That is nothing but afforestation. In order to protect the land, afforestation is very essential. Next, land reclamation. Some area that land is not should be that some areas of land that is not at all used. We want to use that land that reclaim the land, or reclamation of the land. Some areas are there nearby water. Some areas are there that is not used by human beings. So that we can use that and we can use it for agriculture or any other good purposes. That we can call it as land reclamation. Next is regulated use of chemical pesticides. You know that people they use pesticides to kill pests. In order to kill pests, so that they use pesticides. These pesticides are very harmful to human beings. So we can regulate or control the use of pesticides. We must control the use of pesticides. We must control the use of pesticides. We must control the use of pesticide. Regulated use of pesticides. Next is overgrazing. Overgrazing. Soil erosion that may happen due to overgrazing. We have to control overgrazing. Overgrazing of cattle. If we these cattle will eat these grasses, top layer of the soil will wash away. So overgrazing that will be one to prevent the overgrazing of these cattle. So grazing cattle and overgrazing cattle is different. If overgrazing, definitely the top layer of the soil will wash away. So control or regulate the overgrazing of these cattle. So afforestation, which are the conservation of land. What are the things we can do? Conservation, then land reclamation, then regulated use of chemicals and pesticides, and check overgrazing, and we must check overgrazing. Next, what is soil? Soil is the thin layer of grainy substance found on the top layer of the thin layer of grainy substance that found on the surface of the earth, that we can call it as soil. What is soil? The thin layer of grainy substance that found on the surface of the earth, that is called covering the surface of the earth, that we can call it as soil. What is soil? Thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth, that we can call it as soil. So then factors of soil formation. Which are the factors that helps for the soil formation? For the formation of the soil, what are the things we must do? Or what are the factors for soil formation? First one, factors of soil formation. First one is the nature of the that we want to protect or prevent these rocks and other things. We have to parent rocks. The nature of the parent rocks that was one of the factors of soil formation. Nature of the parent rocks, that was one of the reason for soil formation. Second one, that is climatic factors. Third one, that is topography. And fourth one, that is the role of organic material. And fifth one, that is the time taken for the composition of soil formation. These are the things that helps the factors for soil formation. Which are the factors for soil formation? First one, that is the nature of the parent rock. That is the nature of the parent rock. Second one, that is climatic factors. Third one, that is topography. Fourth one, that is role of organic material. Fifth one, that is time taken for the composition of soil formation. So next, degradation. What is degradation? The soil that sometimes it may degrade. The soil degradation, that is called as degradation of the soil. That is very much harmful to the soil. Soil degradation may happen. Which are the reasons that lead to the soil degradation? First one is for conservation of the soil. First point is afforestation. But soil degradation, first point, that is deforestation. What is afforestation? What is deforestation? Afforestation, planting of trees. What is deforestation? Cutting down of trees. These cutting down of large areas of land that if we cut that trees, that badly affect and it may degrade the soil. So first reason is deforestation. Second reason, that is overgrazing. Second reason, what is the second reason? That is overgrazing. And the third reason, that is overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. If we overuse the chemicals and fertilizers, that definitely affect the soil, because if we use chemicals and fertilizers, that soil, that naturality will lose, soil's naturality will lose, the fertility of the soil may lose, definitely that will be harmful to the soil. Next one is you know that rainwash of the top layer of the rainwash, that may also lead to the degradation of the soil. Next is landslides and floods. Landslides and floods, that also one of the reason for the degradation of the soil. One of the reason for the degradation of the soil, that is nothing but landslides and floods, then overgrazing, then deforestation, then overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. These are all leading to the degradation. These are all leading to the degradation of the soil. These are all leading to the degradation of the soil. Next is community land. On the base ownership of the land, on the basis of the ownership of the land, we can divide this land into, that is community land and private land. What is community land and what is private land? Community land, that is for a common use, that is community land. Private land, that is used for our own use, that is private land. For individual use, as a private land. On the basis of ownership, we can divide the land into community land and private. Park and other areas, that is community land. Private land, the individual's land, we can call it as a private land. On the basis of ownership, we can divide this land into community land and private land. Next, you know that while conserving the soil or conserving the land, we can take many steps. We can take many steps. Which are the steps we can adopt? First one, mulching. Second one, that is condor barriers. Second one, condor barriers. Third one is rock dam or check dam. Next one is terrace farming. Next one is intercropping. Then condor plowing, shelter belts, etc. Through these activities, we can conserve the soil. We can protect the soil. Through this soil erosion, that we can prevent the soil erosion. So these are all things are very essential now. Then we want to know first one, that is mulching. What is mulching? With hay or anything like that, if we protect the soil erosion, that we can call it as mulching. That is mulching. So next one is that we can call it as condor barriers. We can keep barriers to prevent the soil erosion. So next one is check dam or rock dam. Through this also we can prevent the soil. Next one is terrace farming. Terrace farming, you know, step cut. Terrace farming is otherwise called step cut farming. Terrace farming is always called step cut farming, like a terrace or a step. That areas, especially you know the mountainous areas, we can use this terrace farming so that we can prevent the soil erosion. Terrace farming. Next one is intercropping. Intercropping means with one crop another crop will be cultivated, again another crop will be cultivated. This is called intercropping. That is called intercropping. Then multicropping also, that is also useful. Multicropping, intercropping, these are all useful for the prevention of this soil erosion. Then shelter belts, these are all very effective to prevent soil erosion. You know that 2/3 of our earth surface is that land. 2/3 of our earth surface, that is water. Water. 2/3 of the earth surface, that is water. Water areas are more. That is why we call this as that we can call it as blue planet. Most of these areas that we can call it as that is water areas. That is why we call it as what we can call it as a blue planet or blue marble or blue planet. Blue planet or blue marble. So that is why we always call it that this is as a blue marble or blue planet. So most of these areas that is covered by water. 2/3 of the earth surface that is covered by water. 2/3 of the earth surface that is covered by water. That is why we call it as a blue planet or blue marble. So among this water, you know that we have enough water, we have oceans, we have enough quantities of water. Do you think this much of water is we have adequate water? Actually, that is wrong. Because we have only 1% of water is good for drinking. Only we are getting only 1%. Even though we have this much of water, we have oceans, this much of water, but only 1% of water can be used. It can be used for our use. It means that 1% of fresh water, only 1% of fresh water only useful for human consumption. Why? Other water that we can call as saline water. Other areas of water, that is saline water, salty water. Saline water here means salty water. Other areas that water, other areas of water, only 1% of fresh water. Other percentage of water it is not good for human consumption because that is saline water. Saline water is not good for drinking. Next, you know that nowadays we are facing the most important problem, that is problems of water availability. What you know about the problems of water availability? You know that water is not adequate for the human beings. But we are not getting enough or adequate quantities of water. You know that Kerala and Tamil Nadu fighting for Mullaperiyar water. Then Karnataka and Tamil Nadu fighting for Kaveri water. India and Pakistan fighting for Indus water. So water is nowadays we are facing an acute shortage of water. We are facing the most important problem, that is related to water. We are not getting adequate quantities of water. People, they are in need of water, but they are not getting enough quantities of water. This become a major problem in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. So the water, how can we conserve? How can we conserve water? How we can conserve water? We can conserve water by limiting our uses. We can limit the uses of water. Never waste water, never misuse water. After our use, we close that tap, and we must use water in a judicious way. Otherwise, what will happen? We will not get adequate quantities of water. We will not get water. You know that water table that is going down nowadays by overconsumption. Overconsumption of this water that may lead to this water level that may go down. Definitely the water level that goes down. So we have to limit the use of water. Then only the next generation they will get water. Then only sustainability of water will get. It means that future generation also need water. So that is a major problem we are facing, that is the scarcity of water. Scarcity of water, problems of water availability. So which are the things we can do? Never throw waste or anything that is to waste the water. Never throw plastic and other materials into the water. Never, after our use, we close the tap. We close the tap after use. And give awareness to the people about the importance of water. And never misuse water. So limit the use of water. As per our need, limit the use of water so that we can conserve water. Okay, you know the holy river, that is Ganga river, that is considered as holy river. But later on, what happens in Ganga becomes the most polluted river. Why this happens? Due to human beings. Due to the intervention or due to human beings, this water that become polluted. But due to Ganga Action Plan and other plans, due to Ganga Action Plan and other plans, what happens? We want to regain the original. What we get earlier, like that we want to make it due to several plans like Ganga Action Plan and other plans. So we never throw waste and other things to this rivers, and rivers should be considered as holy, and we must take much care to this Ganga water, so that then only we can conserve this water. Otherwise, what will happen, sir? Water that become polluted. So understood the importance of conservation of water. Otherwise, future generation will not get water. So now next we want to know about natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife. What is natural vegetation and wildlife? Natural vegetation that we can divide flora and fauna. What is flora and fauna? Animals and birds we can call as flora and fauna. Animal kingdom as well as human kingdom, animal kingdoms, so that we can divide. So these animals are very essential. Birds are very essential. Species of animals are very essential. Species of plants are very essential. Plants and animals we can call it as flora. Plants and animals we can call it as flora and fauna. This flora and fauna is very essential for our survival. We human beings totally depend on plants and animals. We are depending on these plants as well as animals. We are getting everything from the plants as well as we need animals also. So we are depending on these plants as well as animals. So plants necessary, animals necessary, human beings necessary. So there will be a balance. These balance we can call it as ecological balance. This is called ecological balance. We have to maintain the ecological balance. These ecological balance we must maintain and we must balance this ecology and ecological balance. Otherwise, what will happen, sir? Definitely that may be very much harmful to human beings only. Human beings only. At last, we will reach to human beings only. If we pollute water, if water become contaminated, the fish will eat this waste and other things. We will cook that fish and we will eat it. Biological magnification may occur. What will happen, sir? Through this fish, when our body gets different kinds of contaminated items into our body, that we can call it as biological magnification. Through biological magnification, at last it will reach to us only. So that it is our duty to conserve water. It is our duty to conserve water. It is our duty to limit the use of water. So we must prevent soil erosion. We must plant trees. We must protect the plants. We must protect the animals. So we must protect plants and animals. Then only we can survive in this earth. Otherwise we can't survive the earth. That is natural vegetation. It means life of plants and animals. And moreover, it is our duty to protect and conserve plants and animals. Next, wildlife. Wildlife here means animals only. Animals here only. Animals only. We can call it as animals. Animal kingdom. That is wildlife. So it is urgent need to conserve and protect the plant species, animal species. You know that India contains many species of plants. Many different species of plants. Some species of plants that are endangered. What do you know about endangered species? These endangered species of plants that are limited, so that it is our duty to protect and conserve it. Otherwise, it will finish. This species will finish. So, that species of plants we can call it as endangered species of plants. Next is endangered species of animals also exist in our earth. So some animals that are endangered animals. There are some animals that we can call it as endangered species of animals. These animals we want to conserve and protect. Otherwise, the chain will lose. We are all linked with these chains. These food chains. These one species is depending on another species. So once this chain will lose, it will break all the chains. So it is our urgent need to link this chains. To link this chain, then only we can exist our earth. Then only we can exist our earth. Otherwise we can't survive. Otherwise we can't survive this earth. So it is our urgent need to conserve and protect the animal kingdom as well as plants kingdom. plants kingdom and animal kingdom, we want to protect it. So it is our urgent need to protect the plants and animals. So wildlife, different species of animals are there. Some species of animals that are endangered species of animals that we want to protect. Panda and other animals, these are considered as endangered species. Some species of plants are already extincted. Already some species of animals that extincted. Birds also extincted. Dodo birds and other birds are now not found anywhere because that bird extincted. Animals like that dinosaur that extinct from our earth. So it's our duty to conserve and protect animal species as well as bird species. Animals, plants, etc. we want to protect. If plants is there, definitely this to become a shelter for birds as well as animals. If you destroy plants, definitely that may lead to the destruction of birds as well as animals. I hope that you understood this. Next, once again we want to revise all these things. Which are the things we learned, we understood, which are the things we revised today? That is, first we discussed about and we studied about land. What is land? What is the importance of land? 13% of the surface is covered by water. We human beings, we are living in this land. Animals also live in this land. We know that this land we can divide it into this land. We can divide it into sparsely populated areas and densely populated areas. What are the areas that are sparsely populated, less inhabited areas that we can call it as sparsely populated areas? What is densely populated areas? Densely populated areas are the areas that is people quickly populated. That areas we can call it as densely populated areas. Why people want to live in these densely populated areas? That area is good for cultivation, transportation is possible, all facilities are there, infrastructure facilities are there, so that people want to settle in these areas. That areas we can call it as densely populated areas, especially areas that is very tough and difficult to live. That is a terrain region, hilly region, rugged regions, then steep areas, hills, mountains. Then the areas that does not have adequate quantities of water. So these areas are sparsely populated areas. People less inhabited. Next is densely populated areas. Densely populated areas that people want to live in that areas because of the infrastructure. Because that area is good for cultivation, because that area is good for transportation, all facilities are there, so that people want to live. Which are the areas that plains, then river valleys, then it is good for agriculture or suitable for agriculture. These areas people largely inhabited. Next is the uses of land. Next we want to know the uses of land. Land can be used for many purposes. Land can be used for building houses, then industries, maintenance of industries, bridges, railways, roads. Then mining for forestry, mining, etc. These are the different uses of land. These are all the uses of land, or these are the different uses of land. Next we studied about the conservation of land. It is very urgent to conserve and protect the land. Otherwise, land degradation may happen. So we want to conserve the land. So afforestation. What is afforestation? Planting of trees, that is afforestation. Cutting of trees, that is deforestation. Afforestation, that is one point of conservation. Second one is land reclamation. Some areas that is not at all used. We want to regain that land and we want to cultivate it. Or we want to use that land, that is called land. Some areas that is nearby water, that area we can use it. That is called the land reclamation. Next one is regulated use of chemical pesticides and overgrazing. Regulated use of chemical fertilizers. Chemicals and fertilizers. The regulated use of chemicals and fertilizers. Chemicals that is very much harmful to the land or earth. So we must regulate or control these chemicals, uses of chemicals, and even pesticides also. We must control the use of pesticides so that we can conserve the land. Next we will overgrazing of cattle. Overgrazing also. If cattle overgraze that land, definitely the top layer of the soil will wash away. The top layer of the soil will wash away. That may lead to soil erosion. That may lead to soil erosion. That may lead to soil erosion. Definitely that may lead to soil erosion. So that may lead to degradation of the soil also. Top layer of the soil is good for cultivation. So that is fertile land. If top layer of the soil will wash away due to rain wash or anything like that, it wash away, definitely that is we can't cultivate that area, and this may lead to degradation of the soil. Next we want to know about that it's very necessary. We want to protect the land. We must protect the land. So we must prevent the degradation of the soil. But then what is soil? What is soil? The thin layer of grainy substance that cover on the surface of the earth, that we can call it as soil. What is soil? Thin layer of grainy substance that cover on the surface of the earth is called soil. So factors of soil formation. Some examination may ask, which are the factors of soil formation? First one, that is the nature of the parent rock. The nature of the parent. What is parent rock? The first formed rock that we can call it as parent rock. Sometimes you may get a confusion. What is parent rock? The first formed rock. From that rock only it powdered and forms, different forms are formed. Or that different types of like metamorphic rocks and igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks. All these rocks are formed. First parent rock, from that only these kinds of changes happens. So these cyclical changes that we can call it as rock cycle. At first it's parent rock, then convert to another form, then again it convert to another form, again it comes to the original form. So that these type of metamorphic or changes, these kinds of changes that we can see. These kinds of changes that forms we can call it as rock cycle. There are different changes, and last it will come to the comes again in the changes, that cyclical changes that happens. This is called a rock cycle. Next that is climatic factors. Climatic factors also a reason for the soil formation. That is also reason. Weathering of these rocks. Rocks powdered that forms a soil. That is one reason for climatic factor. Weathering. Next is topography. On the basis of the topography only people they want to cultivate the land. Topography. Next, role of organic material. Then the role of organic material. Next, time taken for the composition of soil. Time taken for the formation of soil composition or soil formation. These are all factors for soil formation. Next one is how can we protect this soil erosion? Mulching. First process mulching. Contour barriers. Next is rock dam or check dam. Then shelter belts, terrace farming. Then intercropping, multi-cropping, etc. Through all these processes, what we can do, we can protect the soil. This is called through this process, soil erosion can be prevented. If terrace farming is there or step-out farming is there, we can prevent the soil erosion. We can prevent the soil erosion. You know that water, 2/3 of the earth's surface is covered by water. So, but this water we can't use for our consumption. Why? Because saline water. Only 1% is only fresh water. It is good for drinking. And these there are different forms of this water. That these cyclical process we can call as water cycle. We studied about the rock cycle, same like water cycle. So already you learned that how water cycle formed. You learned first. You know that due to sun's heat, the evaporation may happen. Then it reaches. Then it forms as clouds. These clouds. Then what happened to these clouds? Then when it condenses then it forms precipitation. Due to the condensation, when it cools down and this forms droplets of water, that is called precipitation. Again this process will happen. Then due to sunlight, again it heat and water vapor comes. The same process will happen again. This cyclical process we can call it as water cycle. Then what is that? Water cycle. That is called a water cycle. Then next last point we discussed, that is the problems of water availability. The problems of water availability. So nowadays we are facing the most important problem, that is scarcity of water. We are not getting adequate quantities of water. So it is our duty to limit the use of water. For our use, we must use. For greediness, if we use, definitely we can't. The future generation will not get water. So in earlier times, people said that we must conserve water. Otherwise, the future generation will buy water. Now it's correct. The future generation again, if they need, definitely we want to limit the use of water. We must limit the use of water. Otherwise, the future generation will not get water. So next, the last one, natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife. Different types of animals, species, indigenous species, exotic species. These are different species of plants are there. Exotic, that is from other countries. Indigenous, from our country, different species of plants are there. So it is our duty to protect these plant species and animal species. If we will not protect these plants and animals, definitely that will extinct. That is why some plants called plants that are extincted plants. Then other extinct of animals, that will endangered species, endangered animals. You know it will. But endangered species means that is a species that is going to extinct. That is going to extinct. So it is our duty to conserve and protect these species. So it's very urgent to protect these kinds of species and animals. So I hope that you understood and you know it very well. These type of questions will come, definitely you can answer. Types of questions. What is different types of land, importance of land, sparsely populated areas, densely populated areas, uses of land, conservation of land. On the basis of ownership, land can be divided into community land and private land. What is community land? What is private land? Then what is soil? Next, factors of soil formation. Next, degradation of the soil. Next, how can we conserve the soil erosion? Next, the importance of water. Then water cycle. Next, problems of water availability. Next, natural vegetation and wildlife. So I hope that you understood it very well. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.